start moving, Mr. Chairman.
Say something. Sir,
Mr. Chair.
With the indulgence of Congressman Suwan. Yes, Mr.
Yes,
President.
Mr. President.
wala tayong pakialam sa ombudsman. We cannot interfere. Alam ninyo yan, baski sino. Lalo na mga politiko.
Yes,
Wala tayong pakialam sa ombudsman. We cannot tinker with the ombudsman. And you can call him here and ask him questions. Hindi pwede talaga yung unless sir, if you are not a self-respecting lawyer, kung wala kang delikadesa, sir, ganon. Pero ganon naman ako sabi ko, kanina pa insisting na mahirap lang ako. I have a set of rules in my life and I follow rules in the civil aspect of my life. And naging physical ko.
thank you, Mr. President. That's noted. Yes, please proceed.
Okay, let's go back to the case. Senator Trillanes, you said that your case involved plunder.
Yes, yes, Mr. Chairman. And let me just add, Mr. Chairman, Duterte keeps on saying na he cannot interfere, pero it is on record, kahit i-google po natin ngayon, Mr. Chairman, he fired. Pinatalsik niya sa pwesto yung nag-iimbestiga nung kaso niya, the Deputy Ombudsman Arthur Carandang, who was earlier invited by the chairman para maririnig po sa kanila kung ano talaga yung nangyari po doon sa investigation po na yun.
Mr. Chair, was the former Assistant Ombudsman invited here?
We have not sent an invitation to him, Your Honor.
Yes.
Chair, it's been moved earlier, Mr. Chair. It's been moved earlier.
Oh, I stand corrected. Yeah, there was a motion earlier.
Mr. Chairman, I'm the one that moved to invite former Deputy Ombudsman Carandang because we need to check the authenticity of such claims made by former Senator Trillanes. Well, in fact, I'd just like to correct the statement of the former President. We can invite ombudsman, and it's up to them to attend. But being a former congressman, being a former deputy ombudsman, we can invite him to shed light on the matters that was raised by former Senator Trillanes.
I agree, Mr. Chair. Since
Thank you,
he's
Mr.
no
Chairman.
longer the ombudsman, then
Yes, sir.
it would be better to invite him too.
More so that there is there is something cast an aspiration against the office. It is in keeping with our government to make it good and really safe for everybody to have justice and for the safe administration of the laws of the land.
We'll make sure that the former Deputy Ombudsman will attend the subsequent hearings of the Quad Committee, Your Honor. So you have 2 more minutes left, Congressman Suwan.
Senator, the crime of plunder is quite serious, and I think there is a minimum amount of, there is a threshold before plunder can be alleged. How much was the amount involved in this case that you filed?
Doon po sa first case, 728 million, thereabouts, yung involved. Tapos, doon naman po sa isa, 6.6 billion pesos yung involved. At ito po
Is
kasi...
this the drug case?
No, the infrastructure projects na inaward ni Duterte doon sa tatay at kapatid ni Bongo when he was still the special assistant to the president. So, yan po, maliwanag po kasi first degree of consanguinity, sila yung nakikinabang nung mga pondo na yon. Then the third one is yung 16 billion peso frigate scam. At nalugi po doon yung
Can you tell us more about this?
Yes. So, yung case po na yon, yung sa frigate scam, nagkaroon po ng kontrata na bibili ang Pilipinas ng worth 16 billion or something from a Korean company. So, nagkaroon po ng kontrata. Tapos doon po sa kontrata, iba't ibang brand ng equipment ang nakalagay. Ito yung mga primera klase na brand ang nire-request ng
What do you mean by primera klase?
yung pinakang high-end or what's this? First
First
yung-
hand, not second hand?
No. Ano po, Mr. Chairman? First class, yung pinakamagandang klaseng equipment na ginagamit din ng ibang mga Navy. At yun po ang nasa kontrata. Tapos nung napirmahan na yung kontrata, nung nag-assume na ang Duterte administration, ay suddenly pinalitan nila ng mga mahihinang klaseng brand yung mga equipment. At in short, parang ang analogy po doon, Mr. Chairman, parang kang bumili ng Mercedes-Benz, pero yung makina ay pang owner na jeep, parang ganon. So, ganon po ang diniliber. Kaya malaki po ang kinita ng contractor at nilabi po yon nito ni Duterte at ni Bongo to the point na nung ino-oppose ito ng flag officer in command ni Admiral Mercado, dahil nilalaban niya yung kailangan ng Navy, tinanggal po siya unceremoniously nito ni Duterte.
Who was removed?
Si Admiral Mercado, Mr. Chairman. Na ginagawa lang naman yung tama at nilalaban kung ano yung nasa kontrata. Pero naareglo na nila eh. Siya po yung tinanggal, Mr. Chairman.
Call the Navy. Baka sunod ito sa Air Force na.
Okay.
Please proceed.
So, what happened to the third case?
Yung third,
The one involving the frigates?
nasa investigation phase, Mr. Chairman. And by the way, liliwanagin ko lang po, no, na I didn't say anything negative about the current ombudsman. I'm just saying baka meron po siyang ibang mga priorities kaya hindi po niya natututukan itong nauna kong final na case. And let's hope that that will change in the months to come.
And last question, Mr. Chair. What happened to the second case, the one where you said involved 6.6 billion for infrastructure projects?
Final ko po yan sa DOJ. As far as I know, ano rin po, nasa investigation and case build-up phase. Pero yan po, lahat ng dokumentong pinasa ko dyan ay mga COA and DPWH contracts at documents. So, yan naman po, itong tatay at kapatid ni Bongo na wala pong AAA license, ang ginagawa po nila, ang modus nila, nagpa-partnership sila, kunyari, doon sa isang may AAA contract. Tapos, pero ang lahat ng nakapirma, even yung mga nagkiklaim ng checks, ay yung tatay at kapatid ni Bongo. At maliwanag po yon na sila po ang nag-benefit beyond the threshold na 50 million, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. May I just manifest, Mr. Chair, that I don't think that the Ombudsman is sitting on his duties.
Correct.
Anyway, that's
Okay, thank you.
the last of my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Suwan.
Call the attention of the
Chairman.
Ombudsman.
We will
Mr. Chairman.
we will invite the former deputy ombudsman.
And charge them for negligence or delay, whatever. They have to make answerable. Everybody in this
we will
government
we will
should
study
be
that,
made to
Mr.
answer
President. We will study
for
that,
any
and if we,
negligence, delay, or for willful
Mr. Chairman,
We will study that, Mr.
Mr.
President.
Chairman.
Yes, Congressman Paduano.
as part of the position of the chair to study that case that was mentioned by the former Senator Trillanes, may we direct the former Senator to submit in this committee all the cases that he filed in the Ombudsman before the next hearing?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Please submit to this committee before the next hearing.
Yes, Mr.
Para
Chairman.
po, we can discuss it. Wala namang subjudice dito.
Yes,
No?
Mr. Chairman.
But of course, the merit of question of yung sinabi ni former President, let us see. No? Let us see what will be the action of, well, in fact, kung may nakita tayong problema, kahit sinong citizen of this country can file a case against those sitting officers in the Ombudsman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Paduano. The next to interpolate is Congressman Jojo Lara. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, my questions have already been asked. For now, I have no more questions. I yield to the next interpolator. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Lara. The next to interpolate is Congresswoman Janet Garin. She's not here. So, Congressman Drixie Cardema, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening po. Just a manifestation.
This is a manifestation.
Yes,
Okay.
Chair.
Please proceed.
Tayo ditong mga kinatawan ay ibinoto lamang ng ilang libong Pilipino. Ngunit ang kasama natin ngayon ang Pangulong Duterte, ang most voted Philippine leader ng 2016. At ang kanyang anak, Vice President Sara Duterte, ang most voted Philippine leader naman ngayong 2022. I would like to manifest na gusto ng sambayanang Pilipino ang pagdurog niya sa mga kriminal, durugista at NPA na terorista. Kaya sila ibinoto at patuloy na mahal ng mga Pilipino. Kaya gusto natin ng patas na hearing. Sana sinama natin dito ang libo-libong mga magulang na ang mga anak ay biniktima ng mga durugista. Ang mga ordinaryong Pilipino na naglalakad galing trabaho, tapos sinaksak o pinatay ng adik, lahat ng mga kababaihan, na kahit pati infant na babae ay ginahasa na ng adik. Libo-libo rin ang kanilang mga magulang at mahal sa buhay na wala dito ngayon. Awang-awa ang mga Pilipino sa mga inuseteng pamilyang na ito, kaya niluklok ng bansa ang Pangulong Duterte. Ang drug war ng Pangulo ay policy lamang. Hindi ito natupad kung hindi ito pinondohan ng Kongreso ng 6 na taon. Majority pa nga dito sa mga kinatawan ay naka-Duterte fist pa nung buong 6 na taon eh. Ang Duterte Youth Party List po ay patuloy na naninindigan sa Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte at pangalawang Pangulo, Sara Duterte, na naglingkod ng maayos, dumurog sa mga durugista, kriminal at NPA na terorista para proteksyonan ang milyon-milyong Pilipino. Bakit wala nag-iimbestiga dito o nag-iimbita sa atin sa sobrang raming Pilipino na biniktima ng mga durugista? And lastly, sa mga kongresista na kaalyado ng mga NPA, mahaya naman tayo sa topic ng pagpatay dahil kayo mismo, hindi kayo nagsasalita sa pagpatay ng NPA sa mga pulis, sundalo at mamayang Pilipino. Pati rin po sa mga natitirang resource persons na gusto mag-abogada papuntang ICC, si Attorney Maria Cristina Conti, na kandidato ngayon ng Bayan Muna Party List. Kasama po ang inyong katabi na si Nery Colmenares ng Bayan Muna. Sa NPA, nire-recruit ang mga kabataan para pabagsakin ang gobyerno at pumatay ng mga pulis, sundalo at tropa ng gobyerno. Hindi nyo naman kinokondena ang pagpatay nila. Ang kinokondena nyo ngayon ay ang dalawang naging most trusted leaders ng bansa na todo effort protektahan ang milyong-milyong mga Pilipino. In support sa advocacy sa Pangulong Duterte, ang Duterte Youth Party List ngayon, Kongreso, ito, ang kaisa-isang nagpapanukala ng pagbalik ng death penalty para sa mga rapist, kidnappers, durugista at terorista. In behalf of the Duterte Youth Party List, kami ay nagpapasalamat sa todong suporta ng Pangulong Duterte at VP Sara Duterte sa mga tropa ng gobyerno at sa pagdurog nyo sa mga kriminal, durugista at NPA na terorista. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair. At
Thank you,
magandang gabi po.
Congresswoman.
Salamat,
Ma'am.
Mr. Chair.
Bawal po pumalakpak dito. Kung gusto niyo pumalakpak, doon kayo sa labas. Maaari ba?
Mr. Chair,
Wala hong bastusan dito, ha? Sige, Congressman Acop, you're recognized.
thank you, Mr. Chair. I beg to disagree with my colleague. Kasi bata pa siya. Ako, I have given up my life for this country. The former president is only 2 years older than I am. But I have been fighting for this country. I was a member of the Philippine Constabulary and became a policeman after Republic Act 6975 was enacted. This statement of my colleague betrays her ignorance. Kung gusto po niya na magpa-imbestiga, mag-file siya ng resolution and maybe refer to the appropriate committee to be fair with her. She's a congressman. She knows the rules. However, your statement or your statements betray your ignorance of our rules here in this House of Congress. So I beg to disagree, Mr. Chair, na sila lang ang nakikipaglaban at marunong makipaglaban sa kalaban. As I've said before, I have given the most part or most years of my life fighting the enemy of this country. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Acop. Yes, let me emphasize na wala pong may monopolya ng pagmamahal sa bayan dito. Pare-parehas po tayo rito. And following the suggestion of Congressman Acop, kung meron kayong gustong paimbita, mag-attend kayo ng hearing. Hindi yung a-attend kayo kapag andito lang ang dating Pangulo, ang ating Vice Presidente. Umattend kayo. This committee hearing, this Quadcom, makes announcements of all its hearings. And from here on, we want to see you in our hearing, and please submit to the committee secretary all the persons you want to be invited. Wala hong ano yan. Kung sino yung gusto niyang imbitahan, pwede po yan. Gusto ko lamang pong liwanagin na wala hong may monopolya sa pagmamahal sa bayan dito. Hindi kayo, hindi kami. Pare-parehas tayo nagmamahal sa bayan. Pare-parehas tayo nagseservisyo eh. Diba? Huwag niyong sabihin mas magaling kayo. Dahil kami, hindi naman namin sasabihin magaling kami. Pero kung pagmamahal sa bayan, pare-parehas tayo. Huwag niyong sosolohin yan. Dahil magagalit si Congressman Dan Fernandez. Anyway,
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair,
Congressman Abante and then Congressman Senior Deputy Speaker Gonzales. Congressman Abante.
katulad din po ni Congressman Romy Acop, gusto ko ring sabihin ang ilan sa aking talambuhay. 1986, Mr. Chair, muntik nang bumagsak ang Pilipinas sa NPA. Mayroong 37,000 na armed NPA sa bansa. Mayroong 5 million na mass support ang NPA. That was 1986. Kinausap ko ang dating Chief of Staff, si FBR, upang ang aming grupo ay makipag-ugnay sa CRS upang labanan namin ang NPA saan man sila naroroon. Bilang isang religious leader, wala po kaming dalang armas. In fact, kami po ay nag-create ng grupo na ang tawag confrontational evangelism. Na ang ibig sabihin nun, habang NPA ay naghahasik ng lagim sa mga bayan, kami naman ay nagtuturo ng Biblia at ng tunay na kalayaan sa bayan. Ako din po ang isa sa mga nagsuggest kay FBR nung araw na magtayo ng isang civilian force na magiging kasama ng armed forces. Naging pangulo po sa FBR. Kasama po ako doon. Naging konsyal ako ng Maynila. Andiyan po si Atty. Bebot Bello. Alam po niya na magkasama kami sa lakas nung araw. So tama po ang sinabi ni Congressman Ako, ni Congressman Ace Barbers, na lahat po tayo nagmamahal sa bayan. Kaya nga, Mr. Chair, gusto kong itanong sana dito kay Senator Trillanes, if he is working for the ICC. Are you working for the ICC, Mr. Chair?
Hindi po,
You are not.
hindi po, Mr. Chairman.
But you are connected with the ICC.
Opo, by virtue of being the first to
So, Mr.
to file.
Chair,
Yes.
This man who used to be a part of the armed forces, that should be a patriot in this country, has been conniving with the ICC in this country. Now, we would like to have a balance here. Hindi po yung unfair tayo o bias tayo. Balance lang tayo dito. Hindi natin dito inaakusahan ang sinumang personalidad. Issues. Kaya nga sinasabi ko sa ating former president, hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit kinakailangan pumatay tayo ng 30,000 people sa war on drugs. Naniniwala po ako sa war on drugs, Mr. President. Suportado ko na ayaw natin ang bansang Pilipinas mahulog sa kuko ng mga drug pushers and drug lords. Ang nakakapagtaka lang, Mr. Chair, kung bakit kakaunti lang ang napapatay ng mga drug lords at drug traffickers at libo-libo ang napapatay ng mga drug pushers at daan-daan ang napapatay ng mga drug users. Huwag natin pag-usapan dito ang ideolohiya. Pag-usapan po natin dito kung paano natin pagagandahin ang bansang Pilipinas. Yan po ang pag-usapan natin dito, Mr. Chair. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Congressman Nabante.
Mr.
Next,
Chair,
our senior
Mr.
deputy.
Chair, would like to manifest.
Yeah, but before
Okay.
I recognize you, I will recognize Senior Deputy Speaker Don
Thank you,
Gonzales.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My dear colleagues and the former President, our Vice President, for the information of our colleague, Congresswoman Ordenas, ang tanong po, bakit nandito po tayo ngayon? Because I'm the one who stood up in the floor last August 5, for your information, na calling for a joint investigation for the pressing issues of extrajudicial killings, illegal drugs, and illegal activities linked to Philippine offshore gaming operators. There are a lot of House resolutions. I filed also a House resolution number 1346 directing the conduct, the inquiry in my own town in Mexico, Pampanga, and you know all of that, that doon po nakita yung worth 3.6 billion pesos na 560 kilos of shabu. And that is in my district, and that is in my province, and that is our town in Mexico. And nakita po din natin yung 3.8 billion worth na intercepted sa Subic Port na inotor po ni Congressman Jeffrey Conghun. Sinabi ko po lahat ito, there are a lot of House resolutions and we have consolidated. That's why this Quadcom form na dumaan po sa tamang proseso, dumaan po sa Committee on Rules, and I think this is the first time in the history of Congress since 1907. This is the first time na nagkaroon po tayo ng Quadcom Committee. So wala po itong personalan, wala po itong politika, ma'am. Hindi po kami kay former President, wala po yun, ma'am. At sa ating Vice President, do not monopolize the love of country. Mahal po natin lahat ang bansang Pilipinas. Kami po, dito, nakatayo kami. We are staying here up to 2:30 in the morning. We are inviting all resource persons to dig it out what is true. Kung sino po, hindi naman ibig sabihin, in-invite ka rito, akusado ka na. Hindi po. There are a lot of witnesses going to the office of our chairpersons of these various committees to testify, to tell the truth, at kami naman po, hindi naman po basta-basta, kinukuha natin yung mga witnesses. So I repeat, Mr. Chairman, thank you again for the opportunity. And I would like to enlighten our co-members, the members of this 19th Congress, please attend this Quadcom hearing. Totoo po yun. Hindi lang po andito ang ating former President ngayon. Nandito kayo. Hindi lang po nandito si Vice President Sara ngayon. Nandito kayo. Hindi po ganyan. Kahit sino po tapat, wala tayong pinipili. This is the love of country. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Gonzales. Next, Congresswoman Castro.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Palabas na sana ako, pauwi na talaga sana ako. Kaya lang narinig ko yung manifestation ng ating kagalang-galang na colleague, Representative Cardema. Alam niyo po, Mr. Chair, paulit-ulit yan yung manifestation na yan. 3 beses ko na yung narinig na paulit-ulit. Laban sa mga NPA, laban sa mga progresibong grupo, laban sa mga party list ng mga progresibong kagaya namin. At yung mga tinutukoy niya siguro ay kami yun, no? At talagang nakikita naman natin, ano ba talaga yung intensyon, no, ng mga ganitong manifestation. Ito ginagawa natin ito tulad ng sinabi ng ating chair at SDS. Panglabing isang araw na natin itong ginagawa, no? Nagpupuyat tayo dito, nagpapagod, hinahanap ang truth, etc. Para lang makita natin, 3,000 ang napatay, more or less, sa panahon ni President Duterte na EJK. So, wala ba yan sa inyo? Karamihan dyan, mga kabataan na walang kamalay-malay na naging biktima, Mr. Chair, ng ng mga karumal-dumal na mga pagpatay sa panahon ni President Duterte. I know, idol mo, si former President Duterte, Mr. Chair, idol ng ating colleague dito, kahit na yung ating Vice President. Pero dapat po, ang tingnan natin dito ay yung kapakanan, lalong-lalo na yung ating mga kabataan. No? Kaya po, at isa pa po, Mr. Chair, hindi natin pinapayagan sa ating committee yung pag-disrespeto sa ating mga resource person. Narinig ko rin na binabanggit yung mga pangalan ng ating mga resource person na nandito. So dapat po, igalang natin yung rules kung gusto nating makatulong at gusto nating magtrabaho dito sa Kongreso, kasi ito naman talaga yung sinumpaan natin, ito naman talaga yung mandate sa atin, ay tumulong na lang kayo, no? Tumulong na lang kayo. At hindi yung ganito, tama yun, maghain tayo ng resolusyon para kung gusto nating may ma-resolve na problema, like yung problema halimbawa ng patuloy na armadong pakikibaka, bakit ba merong mga armed struggle? Nilulutas natin yan hindi sa madugong paraan, hindi sa militarisasyon. Kaya nga tayo ay nagkakaroon ng peace talks, di ba? Dapat magkaroon ng peace talks at hindi ito, ng militarization, yung ating laging iniisip at laging sinasabi natin na terorista si ganito at si ganon. So, Mr. Chair, pasensya na po kasi nagiging irrational, no? Yung mga ganitong mga statement ng ating colleague, pasensya na, with due respect. Sana hindi na maulit ito. At aasahan natin, tama po, aasahan natin sa mga susunod na mga hearings, si Representative Cardema na tumulong siya sa atin sa paghahanap ng truth dito sa ginagawa natin sa Quadcom at sa iba pang mga hearings, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Maraming salamat, Congresswoman Castro. The next to interpolate, and I think the last to interpolate, is Congressman Romy Acop. No, last for the first round. I was referring for the last interpolator for the first round. We still have another round, second round. So, Congressman Acop, you have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Alas 9 pa lang po, nandito na ako kanina. Nag-aayos pa lang yung mga page natin ng mga upuan. Mr. President, please allow me to ask the questions to you. And I hope they would not be considered as stupid questions dahil ayaw nyo po na matanong kayo ng stupid
Biro lang yun, sir.
questions.
Hindi naman ako. Part of it.
Thank you.
Araw-araw na, may mouth.
Marami pong salamat, Mr. President. Clarification lang po. A while ago, kayo po ay natanong tungkol dun sa mga prinisinta ni Senator Trillanes na mga bank accounts. And you said you would sign a waiver.
Mr. Chair, with all due respect, Mr. Chair, can you please, can I move for 1 minute suspension?
1 minute suspension. Sergeant at Arms. What is the commotion? Bakit?
I think, Mr. Chair, it's better that we
What happened?
transfer some of...
Ano nangyari?
You wish me to explain? Nang dumaan lang ako, Mr. Chair, sabi niya, di ba bayan muna ka? O so ano ngayon?
Speak louder.
Nang dumadaan ako, Mr. Chair, ang sabi ni Mr. Cardema, di ba bayan muna ka? Tumatakbo ka sa eleksyon. So sabi ko, marami namang congressman dito tumatakbo sa eleksyon. Bakit kami ang minimension mo?
Okay, sige po.
So yun
Maraming
na naman
salamat
po
po.
ang ano ko.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you,
Mr. Chair, Mr.
Cardema.
Chair, I would advise our guests here, please not to provoke anybody, especially the guests here, if I may humbly request, para hindi ho tayo tumagal pa.
Thank you, Congressman Adjong.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
may I ask
Congressman Paduano.
former Congressman Eric Colmenares as a resource person to go back in the meeting room?
No, I think he's going to
Unless-
the comfort room.
Unless nasa siya, sa comfort room.
Yeah, he's going to the comfort room. So please be reminded, Mr. Cardema, ito reminder lamang po. Dito sa committee ito, hindi nyo po pwedeng itaunt, palakpakan, o insultuhin kahit sino. Paalala lang yan. The next time gawin mo yan, baka ikaw ang magsisi, ha? Just a reminder. Thank you. Now, let us proceed. Congressman Acop, I'm sorry. You have 10 more minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll make it short because I want to go home also. Mr. President, a while ago, Senator Trillanes presented some bank accounts on the screen, and because of that, you stated that you are willing to sign a waiver. Tama po ba yung pagkarinig ko, Mr. President? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I would like also to inform you, Mr. President, that kung namang problema po kayo dun sa pamasahe po ninyo, pagpunta sa hearing na ito, I have told the chairman na pwede namang yung gobyerno ang mag-spend para sa inyo.
Salamat,
Under
sir.
our rules, Mr. President.
That would be hindi naman great, but that would be saving. 3 pamalengke yan. 4.
Yes, Mr. President.
totoo rin po ba yung pagkarinig ko kanina, Mr. President, that you would volunteer to go to the ICC and have yourself be investigated,
Yes, sir.
provided funds will be...
Yes, sir.
Baka magkatotoo po yun, Mr. President. May magbibigay ng pera eh.
Sir, mas mabuti yan siya makapasyal ako. Wala man talaga sila makuha sa akin.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now, pero doon sa statement po nyo kanina, I don't think you would want to volunteer simply because you wouldn't want persons who are colored white to judge you. Tama rin po ba yung pagkarinig ko?
No, I'm open to... I'm a public official, sir. So, I am open to public scrutiny and public judgment. Official ho ako ng gobyerno.
Yes, Mr. President. Pero narinig ko po kanina na doon sa pagtatanong ng isang kasamahan ko na you wouldn't want to be judged by white persons. You would rather want to be judged by Filipinos, your fellow Filipinos.
Yes, sir. Hindi ko... when it comes to the dispensation of justice, hindi ko... I do not have the respect and the whatever sa mga puti. They have always looked upon us as inferior ever since. That has not changed over time, many years. I would rather that I be heard, I be prosecuted by a Filipino, heard by a judge, sentenced, then I can appeal, then if it is affirmed, then I can go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court says that I go to jail, wala namang death penalty ngayon, I would willingly go to prison. Sir, basta Pilipino lang. Huwag lang foreigner. Ayaw ko yung puti, sir. May sentimento ako sa kanila.
Maraming salamat po. Would you agree with me, Mr. President, na lahat po ng sasabihin nyo tungkol sa isang issue, isang bagay, it becomes a policy statement of the country when you were the President?
Yes, sir.
Yes, and therefore, when you stated things about the war on drugs, don't you think it had encouraged our police force to be so aggressive in implementing the war against illegal drugs?
Sir, ang police natin, sir, hindi naman yan pinupulot sa daan eh. They are recruited and they undergo 2 years. And one of the subjects, lahat na, and criminal law, nagtuturo rin ako kasi to augment the income at that time sa pamilya ko, sir. Tinuturo namin ang lahat. At yung lahat ng mga ating police, sir, ay edukado na yan and well-versed on how to handle a police work. So, bago sila magsabi na binugbog ng police o ganon, titignan mo muna, sir, kasi ang police, usually, hindi kagaya ng ibang civilian, kung may gulo, they can stay away. A policeman, whatever is there, a quarrel or anumang gulo, has to go there and confront what's happening and to pacify and make an arrest if need be and bring them. And sometimes, hindi mo madala yan, sir, basta-basta lang mahila mo. Minsan lumalaban. Kaya nabubugbog. Kaya pagkatapos niyan, ang labas, ang pulis ang nabubugbog. Talagang, yung mga lasing, hindi mo mahila yan sa mga restuhin. Tao lang pulis-pulis dito. Di pagka ganun, talagang mabugbog ka ng pulis. Tama naman. Because you have to overcome the resistance in order to make the arrest. Otherwise, inutil ka na pulis.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yun pong, yung statement po ninyo na you take full legal responsibility for the acts of the members of the police force. I've heard that so many times.
Wala akong choice, sir. If you're a mayor, napakaduwag mo naman kung if you shy away from your responsibility because you are supposed to be giving the direction. Ang pulis po, nagtatrabaho lang yan. So ang pulis, pag sinabi mo, pumunta ka dyan sa mga lasinggero na yan, and always there is a resistance, a quarrel, eventually there will be a confrontation. At hindi natin maiwasan, sir, ang kaso. Kaya ako naawa, kasi alam mo noon, sir, pag ang pulis napailan ng kaso, on that day, wala nang sweldo. Suspended na ang sweldo. Pati yung mga anak. Kaya ako pro-police talaga.
Marami
at
po
noon
salamat.
pang fiscal ako, pro-police talaga ako.
Yung pong statement nyo kasi, itinuturo rin doon sa academy under the principle of command responsibility. A leader or a commander is supposed to be responsible for what his people will do or would fail to do.
Yeah.
Basically, it's
Pursuant-
basically the same doon sa sinasabi
Pursuant
po.
to what they have learned from you.
Yes.
Yes.
Iyon po yung kwan.
Yes.
But, tinuturo din po sa amin sa academy na kung ganun po ang sabi ng commander, the commander is responsible, pero ang responsibility lang niya for those legal acts to be committed by the members of his unit.
Yes,
Hindi
sir.
kagaya po ng sinasabi ngayon, nakikita po natin nangyayari, meron kayong policy statement regarding the war on drugs, tapos hindi naman po nila in-implement ng tama. Why? Because according to our investigations, they have committed crimes in order to fulfill their mandate.
That is the reason why yung police na dapat i-appoint nila sa syudad o municipality, kailangan tanggap ng mayor yan. O baski na kaibigan ng mayor yan, okay na yan. Because there will be a smooth, orderly administration of law and order. Pagka nagka-bikil yan dalawa, sir, mahirap masyado. Lalo na kung ang chief of police gusto rin magpa-salida, if I may use my, for lack of, yan ang minsan nagkakagulo. That's why there's always a friction. That's why magbuti yung batas na ang mayor talaga ang mamili. Why? Because the mayor is the elected leader of the community, not the police chief. So, hanggang guidance lang. Ngayon, kung illegal yung, marami yan, sir, illegal, maraming kung ano-anong mga sugal, then he can always report to the provincial commander. And kung hindi na talaga niya makaya, sabihin nila na, sir, i-relieve mo na lang ako, but he can make a report, copy furnish, lahat, including the president. Importante yan, sir, kung may complaint ka, the office of the president ang paki-furnish. Ako noon, pagka kailangan may office of the president talaga yan. Kasi pag nakita ko yan, lahat binabasa ko sa gabi. Pag nakita ko yung then that night, tinatawagan ko kung sinong secretary in.
So, let's make it clear, Mr. President. You take full responsibility for the acts of your police force, but you are not responsible for their individual acts which would constitute a crime.
Sir, bago ito sila na pulis, nag-aral ito ng academy ng 2 years. of what purpose would have been or it would be kung walang natutunan ito sa basic criminal law, criminal procedure. Ako doon sa amin, ako ang nagtuturo mismo eh. And not because of the money now, but because I want to share my knowledge with the police so that we can have a better police force. Noon, sir, gidaginot ko yan. Ano ang daginot sa Tagalog?
Unfortunately, Mr.
Kasi
President.
kailangan ko ng pera.
Unfortunately, Mr. President, some did not learn maybe from your teachings. That's why...
We have the terms kalawags.
Opo.
Money, sir. Basta dyan sa police nagkalitsi-litsi, it's always money. Or, dalawa yan, sir. May pangalawang asawa yung mga gago o may sugalan dyan. Ano. Pero whichever, yung first na dalawang asawa, hindi masyado ko ang magdikdik niyan kaya marami tayong may kasalanan ng ganun. Maybe the chairman can explain to us what that means to a layman's term.
Marami pong salamat, Mr. President. May I ask Attorney Conti, when would you consider a person a criminal?
Your Honor, under the rules, a criminal would have to be convicted of a crime. Prior to that, it would just be someone who is either accused, if already indicted in court, or charged, if only complained of before the prosecutor.
Did I get you right, Madam Attorney, na ikaw ay magiging criminal kung ikaw ay na-charged and you have been convicted with final judgment? Ganun po ba yan?
Could be, Your Honor, but pwede din po sigurong sabihin na criminal na kung kahit yung initial na conviction lang po muna. Kasi, kumbaga, may conviction ka na from a court. Balik ta rin ko po, kapag sa piskal, charged, or respondent, kung tatawagin, kapag nakarating sa korte, accused, and then pag na-convicted, criminal.
So, even if you have been convicted sa, for example, regional trial court, nag-appeal siya hanggang sa Korte Suprema, he's already considered a criminal under the eyes of the law?
Yes, Your Honor, because there is a conviction. Of course, you can contest that. Pwede nyo pong sabihin na, under appeal pa rin naman. But the conviction stands. It could be just that hindi siya nagsiserve ng sentence.
Mr. President, would you agree with that definition?
Yes, sir, because there has to be a conviction. Hindi mahirap yung sabihin mo na basta i-demanda mo lang. Especially yung sa nagtatrabaho lang, sir. Yung mga minor offenses, lumalabas yan sa blatter ng police. Tapos lumalabas yan sa database nila. Yung mga pobre naman na pag-apply nila for trabaho, lalabas yan eh. No matter na hindi kailangan conviction, basta may police record, automatically it is a negative. Between a choice na walang violation, ito may violation. Pagka doon may police record, kawawa talaga, sir. So,
thank you, Mr. President. Nagwo-worry lang po kasi ako doon sa kanina, meron po kayong example na inilabas na doon sa Davao, merong mga tao na pumasok sa isang bahay, nagnakaw, nag-rape, tapos pagbaba nila, nandun ka, patay sila. Yun po yung sabi niyo kanina. Did I get you right, Mr. President?
It's not that easy to kill a person.
I know.
Sinasabi ko yan, sir, yung mga kidnapping with some, hindi sinasauli, pinapatay na lang. Yung mayor ako, hard talaga ako dyan.
So,
talagang hard as hard. Yung rape mo, patayin mo.
Sinasabi po niyo ba sa amin ngayon, Mr. President, na you discarded the presumption of innocence of each and every individual? Yun po ba ang gusto niyong sabihin sa amin ngayon?
I am not ready to answer or to give you an accurate answer on that, sir. Depende na yan sa konsensya ko. Pati yung sa mga pulis na kaharap ko. Kasi alam naman ng mga pulis doon na pag sinungaling sila or hihilain nila yung innocenteng tao, alam ng pulis nila na bugbugin ko talaga sila. Nagbubugbog talaga ako ng pulis sa Davao, sir. Pagka-abusado na pulis, talagang pag inabutan kita sa istasyon, sigurado yan.
So,
kaya disiplinado ang pulis ko.
would it also mean, Mr. President, that sometimes you have discarded the presumption of innocence, then you would also have discarded sometimes the principle of due process? Would that be correct?
Due process, yes, maybe. Pero yung sabi, innocent, sir. Huwag nandyan yung babae. Alam mo, karamihan dyan, minsan. Usually, nandyan yung babae. Magsumbong dyan sa opisina ko. May pasa dito, may bugol dito, black eye dito. So, bakit? Binugbog ako. Sinong bumugbog sa iyo? Pulis dyan sa Talumo. Sino? Sabi ko, yung Bongo, yung senator, tawagin mo. O pagdating doon sa opisina, tawagin ko yung asawa. O manood ka. Saan ka unang sinipa? Dito. O di sipain ko. Saan sunod? Sinuntok ako dito. Suntukin ko. Tapos sunod saan? Sipa uli dito. Sabihin ko, pag inulit mo yan, papatayin kita. Hindi na kita papalusutin.
Thank you, Mr. President. The last issue, kasi doon po ako nagwo-worry. Yung pong statement po ninyo na sinasabihan nyo yung mga polis na pag hindi lumaban, i-encourage nyo na lumaban. Would that be correct, yung pagkaintindi ko po ron?
Yes, sir. Kung may hold up at pumupurma ng lumaban, palabanin mo para matapos na ang problema natin. Pero kung nakasurrender na, sir, tinapon na yung baril sa... Alam nila, hindi yan.
Paano po, Mr. President, magkakaroon ng depensa na self-defense yung taong nag-i-encourage na lumaban yung isang tao?
Well, that would be a question of batas na yan, sir.
Yes, I agree, Mr. President. That's why there are three elements of self-defense as a defense for you to be acquitted of that crime.
That is for the fiscal to decide at that stage. Wala na yan dyan sa pulis, sir. It is far removed na kung meron ng ano.
Pero po, lumalaki yung tsansa na sila po ay madali. Pag
Again,
ganun.
sir?
Ibig sabihin, mas malaki yung tsansa na sila ay makonvict simply because hindi natupad yung isa sa elements ng self-defense,
No,
which
sir.
is lack of sufficient provocation.
Pag nalaman ko, sir, na nagtatrabaho ang pulis, yung tama lang, magtanong ka sa Davao, lahat ng Davao, pulis. Pag na-charge mo ang pulis, nagsasatrabaho lang, suportado ko yan. Ako ang nag-alam ng lahat. Ako ang nagbabayad ng abogado. Habang suspendido siya, he receives a commensurate salary doon sa sweldo niya. At tinutulungan ko to clear. If it is in the fulfillment of duty. Pero kung abusado na puliser, magkaka-enkwentro talaga tayo. Yan ang sabi ko sa kanila, iwasan mo kasi hindi ko kaya talaga palusutin. At marami akong nabugbog na pulis. Hindi na ngayon, sir, matanda na ako. Nung mayor pa ako, yung batuta nila mismo yan, gamitin ko batuta sa kanila. Saan batuta ninyo? Kaya pag nandatin ako, may kasalanan yung gagong yan, tinatapon nila yung batuta kasi alam ko gagamitin ko sa kanila. That's the only way to, hindi mo mapakiusap ang pulis. Hoy, pulis, alam mo, may batas. Hindi kayo dupapit ng ganon, ha? Huwag kayong pumasok kasi bawal yan. Professor ako ng academy. Itong mga to, katagal ko ng fiscal year. Fiscal ako for 9 years. Alam ko yung asta ng lahat. Yung hold-upper, yung pulis, yung gagong pulis, yung mabait na pulis. Yung mababait na pulis na papasubo, suportado ko rin yan sila. Talagang to the hilt. Pero pag ikaw ay gago, ay na, mag-inkwentro tayo. Pero sa criminal, sir, talagang mainit ako, lalo na sa druga. Noong presidente ako, time and again, I have shown to the public how cruel, how brutal, how brutal I was in dealing with drugs. Kasi si sir, ang druga kasi, ang target niyan, ang mga anak natin. Hindi makaresist eh. Yung pagpano dyan, udyukan, o ito, gamit naman dyan. At their age, sir, wala silang depensa. Ngayon, pag tinamaan ito, sir, what would happen to the next generation? Yan nga ang masakit, sir. Can I be given a little para ma-portray ko talaga ang totoong istorya. Oh, here is a mother. Magpunta ng abroad. Hindi na talaga natin alam. Sometimes they rape, abuse. Yung iba, magreklamo. Yung iba, maghanap na lang trabaho, but they will endure the brutality sa nangyari sa kanila. Why? Because kailangan nila to send the money. Otherwise, yung gago na walang trabaho, magsige lang inom, ang mga bata walang pagkain, walang eskwela. Kaya ako mainit dyan. Mainit talaga ako sa mga lalo na yung mga droga sa mga bata. Mainit talaga ako. Hindi ko lang masabi sa iyo kung paano ko martilyuhin ang mga kamay niyan. I cannot just portray, hindi ako nagyayabang, pero magtanong ka na lang ng pulis ka man. Minamartilyo ko talaga yung...
Thank you, Mr. President. Would I be correct as my last question? Kayo po yung naniniwala na sa Machiavellian principle that the end justify the means?
Unfortunately, sir, rightly or wrongly, I believe
in that Machiavellian principle. Marami pong salamat, Mr. President.
There's no other way to deal with criminals except to instill fear. Pag hindi ka nare-respeto ng kriminal, walang mangyayari sa iyo.
Marami pong salamat, Mr. President.
Laruin ka.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr.
Thank you, Congressman Akop. Mr. President, okay pa ho ba kayo?
Mr. Chair.
So you're still okay if we proceed, yes, Attorney Conti.
I'm sorry, sir, but with the indulgence of Kong Akop, with your line of questioning, Your Honor, I have a photo which I would like to show to illustrate the Machiavellian approach. This is the death of Benjamin Visda. May I ask this? Mr. Chair, the photo I submitted to the Secretariat earlier, just a trigger warning, because this illustrates a death that is allegedly under manlaban circumstances. May we ask the photo, trigger warning that this shows blood. This is the death of Benjamin Vista, who was killed by the DEU Manila Police District, Station 1, under Colonel Redentor Ulsano on October 4, 2016. He was in handcuffs, Your Honor. and was shot several times in the head and has a defense type wound through and through in the arm. And I believe, Your Honor, this is in the context, and if we can zoom in, he is in handcuffs. And I believe this supports Congressman Acop's line of questioning that this was really an intense approach to the war on drugs, Your Honor. And this shows that those who heard the President encouraging these kinds of scenario to perhaps set up this kind of killing. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Attorney Conti. Mr. President, okay pa ho kayo? We can...
Sir, mic please, sir. Mic.
May basic training yung police na yung pinapakita mo, tinatalian mo. What? Anong tinuturo ko sa inyo sa Police Academy kung yan ang ipakita mo sa akin yung trabaho mo? Ma-walking kita.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yung photo na yun, nagpapakita ng mga abusadong trabaho ng pulis. Kaya hindi
yan,
ho dapat
yan,
dapat po yan ay kinukundina.
Marami yan, sir. As equally as there are criminals na hindi pulis, maraming kriminal na pulis. The only way to deal in my city, sa akin, sir, is, pardon the word, death. Sinasabi ko talaga sa mga pulis. Kaya ako, I have the most disciplined police in the entire country. Pardon the words, but I will just relate kung anong sinasabi ko sa inyo. Putang ina ka. Huwag mong sabihin police.
Point of order,
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, consistent with our rules, a while ago, Mr. President, 3 beses niyo po sinabi yung word na GAGO, and I move, Mr. Chairman, that we delete that from the record, and also that word as well.
Please, to the stenographers, please.
You
delete.
can even erase my mouth, sir, if you want.
You strike off from the record the foul language that was that we heard. Mr. President, kayo po ba pwede po kayong magpahinga? We can excuse you if you like.
No, sir. But i-backbite pa ako ninyo dito. Nandito ako sa harap ninyo.
Mr. President, marami pa ho namang pagkakataon at we will still need your presence, and we would need your wisdom on some of the items that we want to deliberate on. So, medyo kung pagod na ho kayo.
Hindi pa ho.
Sir,
Hindi kayo pagod. Hindi pa rin ako pagod. Sabay na tayong mapagod. Para sabay tayong umuwi.
Mr. President, we have a lot of topics in the next hearing pa po, sa POGO and also dun sa public accounts. So,
Interesado rin ako, sir. Wala, and I'm not ignorante ako dyan, pero I'd like to learn.
Okay.
It's a learning process
Mr. Chairman.
kasi dito.
So, yes, thank you, Mr. President. Yes, Congressman Paduano.
Just a short manifestation, Mr. Chairman. Anyway, Mr. Chairman, this hearing today supposedly was postponed, for November 2021. Now, this is just a short notice for everyone, and that includes the members of this committee. Kaya nga, marami ring wala. And we post for this hearing today because of the presence of the former president. And we take it as an opportunity to have him. Now, we have to continue the hearing on the next schedule, Mr. Chairman. Kasi alam mo, for example, we have some documents that we need for the next hearing that address to the former president, particularly the statements that was made and the presentation that was made by former Senator Trillanes. We don't have in today's hearing because of short notice former Colonel Espinido with regards to war on drugs. We don't have in today's hearing because of short notice Police Colonel Grijaldo, and other police officers. We don't have today former Mayor Mabilog and all other resource persons supposedly that were invited for the next hearing and that is scheduled for November 21. And I hope the former president and the resource person understands. No? And well, in fact, this is not only the Quadcom that we are working. No, well, in fact, in just this week, I have 2 hearings with my own committee. And I know everyone has a lot of hearings being done every week. That's why I hope that the former president and the resource person will understand the situation of this committee and the short notice that was given to the members and the resource person for today's hearing, Mr. Chairman.
Sir,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Paduano.
I was once a member of this August body. So, naintindihan ko, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Nandito
Thank you,
lang ako.
thank you,
at
Mr.
your
President, for
service.
understanding. Thank you po.
Thank you, Mr. President. Magkasabay po tayo noong 1998 sa 11th
Yes, sir.
Congress.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Congressman Adjong.
Yeah, Mr. Chair. May I have at least two questions that I'd like to ask, just for a clarification, Mr. Chair, and confirmation, Mr. Chair.
You have 10 minutes.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I was listening to the exchanges between Chairman Acop, Romeo Ancop, and the former president, and I thank the former president for responding to the questions of Congressman Acop candidly and honestly, and for being straightforward. I also pick up one of the questions from Chairman Acop when he asked the former president was he willing to sign any waiver, and straight away the president gave an answer, affirmative answer.
Bangko, sir?
Yes, the waiver. Yes. So I'd like to ask again, Mr. Chair, for fairness sake, no, to the former president. Did I hear it correctly?
Hindi, ganito lang, sir. Give me one purpose. Isa lang. Bakit i-produce ko i-produce ko? Ang problema, yung bank account hindi yung akin lang yan, pati sa asawa ko. So, I cannot waive her right to secrecy. Ako wala akong problema. But the problem is, joint account yan eh. So, I have to ask my wife to appear here and to ask her if she is ready to waive the bank secrecy law.
So is it, okay, thank you very much for that, Mr. President, for clarifying. So is it now the understanding of the committee when the former president was asked by Chairman Acop that would the president be willing to sign any waiver, would that be safe to assume, Mr. Chair, that would be conditional? Or because I presume when the former president right away answered the question of Congressman Acop, I presume that it was actually in affirmative and it was actually in all candidness, all honesty. I'm sorry?
The problem is, what is the purpose of this investigation? Am I under the investigation? Bakit ako mag-produce maghingi kayo ng bank accounts ko?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I was just merely requesting...
What is my purpose here?
No, Mr. Chair, with all due respect, I was just merely confirming. That's why when I asked the former president, confirming and to elaborate further on the question propounded by Chairman Acop, it got my curiosity and I got intrigued because, you know, when the question was straightforward and the answer was also given straightforward. I was just confirming now, Mr. Chair, with the former president. Yes, please.
Ayaw ko kayo magduda. So, if not in public, I'll give you a copy. I will show you a copy on condition na it sticks with you.
Thank you. With that, Mr. Chair, I guess it was clarified by the president. I would have wanted, for example, for the response of the former president to really be in accordance with how he responded in affirmative, but based on the clarification right now, Mr. Chair, it seems
ako,
that
sir.
yes, it seems that it was conditional, no, Mr. Chair. Just for a confirmation lang po and for clarification, Mr. President.
Hindi, ang kasi ang
Mr.
problema
Chairman.
sa joint account kasi yan. So I had it back of my mind about my wife.
Okay, I understand that, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President.
I'm sure you have a wife and you have bank accounts.
Yes, I have a lovely wife,
Walang
yes, Mr.
solo
President.
dito na may bank account tayo. It's always, pagka may asawa ka, joint talaga yan. That is the Filipino way of doing it.
Thank you, Mr. President,
you.
for your straightforward answers.
Thank you, Congressman
Mr. Chairman.
Adjong.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, former Senator Trillanes.
Well, just for the record, joint account between Duterte and Vice President Sara Duterte. So sila not the wife. Yun po ang dun sa nakuha natin. And just like what I anticipated earlier, Mr. Chairman, na yung pagsasabi niya na he's willing to sign a waiver, it's the same thing. It's always a bluff. Ngayon, yung sasabihin niya, sasampalin daw ako, pipirma siya ng waiver, sige po, pwede, papayag ako, sampalin niyo ako, pero pirma muna kayo sa waiver. Hindi pa
Mr.
rin,
Chair,
so it's a
Mr.
bluff.
Chair, point of order, just to maintain decorum in this proceeding, and just to be fair, may we request the former senator not to provoke any resource persons, because that won't do any good to anyone.
I apologize,
Please,
Mr.
thank you
Chairman.
very much, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, ipakita ko lang yung video noong 2016 na ginawa namin na inadmit niya na yung ownership of those accounts, Mr. Chairman. May mga dates po yan.
Gano'ng katagal itong
Mga 1 minute.
Make sure it's short kasi...
It's even shorter. Mabilis lang.
Sige.
Yes.
Technical? Comsec?
Going.
That is fabricated. He does not own it because it is non-existent. Little less than 200 million.
Anak lang rin ako ng mahirap.
I was born in 1945. Nagtrabaho ako. Lahat ng trabaho, lahat ng hirap. Hanggang bago ako nag-retire sa politics. Do you think I cannot accumulate even 5 billion? Sa negosyo ng asawa ko, pati ang sweldo ko, mababa naman siguro ang pagtingin ninyo kung inutil kami na basta na lang maghihingi kami ng pera sa tao. Siyempre, sir, may negosyo ang asawa ko. Both the first and the second, puro mayaman yan sila.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Ano magnegosyo
Mr. Chairman.
Plus, sweldo ko malaki. Sir, libre. Alam mo, pagkain ko libre. For so many years, libre.
Mr. Chairman, i-explain ko lang yung video, Mr. Chairman.
Sige. Thank you, Mr. President. Yes. Please make it short,
yeah.
former Senator Trillanes.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. But before that, isasabihin ko lang, nung una wala daw pamasahe, pero ngayon mayaman daw. Pero just para lang ma-record. But dito po, doon sa video, nung una, nung nilabas ko yon nung araw, ando doon yung mga dates, dinideny po nila. Pero when nag-deposit, nakakuha kami ng mga deposit slips, eventually, in a press conference by the media, inamin niya that sa totoo yung mga accounts. Then, eventually, yun ay naging basis ko, Mr. Chairman, nung pagpa-file ko. But
Coming from this
just
fellow,
to be sure, Mr. Chairman, Eventually, doon na lang po doon sa mga papatawag sa next witnesses. Maraming
Okay.
salamat, Mr.
Thank
Chairman.
you. Thank you, former
The
Senator
Filipino
Terrazas.
nation is listening. Maniwala kayo sa kanya o maniwala kayo sa akin? Make your choice.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. Chair.
Congresswoman Jinky Luistro, you're recognized.
Mr. Chair, my questions are directed to the former senator. Ma'am, I understand that almost all your cases were dismissed already.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All cases were dismissed already.
There are 3 cases. First one was dismissed, granted, the demurrer to evidence was granted in 2021. And then the second case, acquitted po ako in 2023. Although that acquittal was elevated to the Court of Appeals, or was questioned before the Court of Appeals by the Office of the Solicitor General, nam labag po sa principle of sa right against double jeopardy. Kasi acquittal nga po. The third case was also dismissed this year, the last third trumped-up drug charge or case was dismissed. Na-dismiss po nung July lang of this year. So, wala na po.
And all these cases pertains to violations of the dangerous drugs law?
Yes, conspiracy daw po to commit illegal drug trading. At first, it was just an illegal drug trading, consummated. Pero na-realize ho ata ng mga prosecutor ng DOJ na mahihirapan sila sa isang consummated illegal drug trading na charge dahil wala nga real evidence, walang physical evidence, walang drugs. Hindi nila in-identify. Ano ba yung drugs na trinafic ko? Wala hong allegation, wala yun sa information. At walang money trail, walang paper trail. So kaya inamend nila po yung mga charges into conspiracy to commit illegal drug trading. Obviously believing that testimonial evidence would be enough. But as it turned out, hindi. Kaya nga po, na-dismiss yung tatlong kaso kasi nag-rely lang dun sa mga laway nung mga perjured witnesses na mostly believed convicts.
I remember, ma'am, during the previous hearings, you made mention about witnesses who recanted their testimonies, which were used in the prosecution of your cases. And if I may add, that includes now Colonel Espinido, who in one of our hearings likewise recanted his testimonies. Can you please enlighten us? Sino po ba itong mga testigong ito na ginamit sa kaso nyo who eventually recanted their statements?
Yes, Your Honor. Yung pagkabanggit niyo po kay Colonel Espinido at kay Kerwin Espinosa, opo, narinig po natin, narinig yung kanilang mga akusasyon sa akin. Pero sila po, hindi po sila ginawang witnesses in any of my 3 cases. Doon sa mga 3 cases, ang mga ginawa nilang witnesses are mostly yung mga believed convicts. Now, some of them nag-retract. And then including then yung former OIC of Bucor and former NBI Deputy Speaker, NBI Deputy Director Rafael Ragos na nag-recant din po. And that is why na-acquit po ako dun sa second case. Kasi yung si Ragos lang po ang talagang key witness. Kung naniwala sila kay Ragos na nag-deliver siya ng pera sa bahay ko, baka nga hindi ako ma-acquit. Although, hindi rin po yun malinaw. Yung kwento na yun na nagdala siya ng pera on 2 occasions sa aking bahay. Now, yung recantation, So nag-recant si Ragos, nag-recant si sa kaso na yan. And then meron hong dalawa, I cannot recall the names of the believed inmates, nag-recant sila in open court. Na yung iba po, sumulat po sila sa handling judge ng remaining case, yung third remaining case. Sumulat sila na nais na nilang mag-recant dahil kino-urge lang daw sila at natakot po sila sa kaligtasan ng kanilang pamilya. Kahit ho ganon, sumulat sila diretso sa handling judge na magre-recant na sila. Dinismiss pa rin po ng handling judge. Kasi kahit wala po yung mga recantation na yan ng mga witnesses, ang conclusion ng judge, hindi credible ang mga witnesses na yan. Marami siyang nakita, inisa-isa niya. It was such an exhaustive decision or order granting demurrer to evidence. Inisa-isa niya yung mga testimonya ng mga believed inmates at nakita niya yung mga diferensya, yung mga inconsistencies on material points, yung incredulity, yung imposible na mga sinasabi nilang mga sitwasyon na kwinento lang nila na walang corroborative evidence, laway lang nila. So hindi na po kailangan yung recantation kasi dinismiss na po. Kakailanganin namin ng recantation sa panig ko, sa panig ng aking mga abogado, kakailanganin namin yung mga recantation dun sa isasampa naming mga kaso against doon sa mga may kinalaman, may role, may hand doon sa pagfa-fabricate ng mga ebidensya, pagfa-fabricate ng kaso against me.
Ma'am, perhaps the testimonies of those who recanted were not necessary to be able to establish a proof beyond reasonable doubt. But I humbly submit that somehow it was utilized to be able to establish probable cause for the purpose of filing those cases against you, which are all no-bail cases.
Yes, Your Honor.
That cost you incarceration for 7 years, ma'am?
Almost 7 years, 6 months, 6 years, 8 months, and 21 days, or a total of 2,454 days.
And I could imagine the immeasurable agony, the ordeal that you went through. Kanina po ma'am, may binanggit kayo. These witnesses are being cursed. Would you know who is the person cursing these witnesses?
Yung sinabi po ni Rafael Ragos, former NBI Deputy Director and Bucor OIC, yung dati po daw na Justice Secretary, Vitaliano Aguirre, at iba pa. Now, hindi pa ho namin alam kung sino-sino yung iba pa. May mga ideas kami, pero kailangan namin talaga na manggaling dun sa mga witnesses na yon para ituro na nila kung sino yung mga trumabaho sa kanila, yung mga kumausap sa kanila, yung mga pumilit sa kanila, yung mga nagbigay ng kung ano-ano mga promises sa kanila para mag-testify falsely against me. Yun po ang gusto rin naming malaman. Although meron na po kami mga nakalap na mga pangalan, pero kailangan ho namin talaga na manggaling mismo yon dun sa mga testigo na nag-recant.
Considering, ma'am, what you believe is the extreme injustice that it cost you, not to mention the damage it cost to your name and reputation, I would anticipate that you have gone through a lot of reading already in finding the possible remedies and actions to be taken in order to repair, restore what needs to be restored. Can you please enlighten us, ma'am? Ano pong courses of action po ba ang iniisip nyo?
Both criminal and civil. Civil for damages. You know, a lot of damages have been caused on my person and on my honor, on my reputation. It's in fact not capable of pecuniary estimation. Whether there's got to be an amount. Although hindi naman po talaga ako interesado sa pera, pero kung isa yan sa paraan para talaga lalo akong ma-vindicate, magpa-file po kami ng civil case for damages. Sa criminal cases naman, yung iba pong mga iniisip namin ay yung subornation of perjury. Dahil pinilit sila. Sinungaling nila under oath. So these witnesses, or these, believed witnesses, they perjured. So they could be liable for perjury. And yung mga nag-udyok sa kanila, kumausap sa kanila, kasama na doon si former Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre, subornation of perjury. Malinaw po para sa amin. And then illegal machinations, grave coercion. Yung kwento ni Kerwin Espinosa na pinilit lang ng dating PNP chief and now Senator Bato de la Rosa. That is grave coercion. So naghahanap pa po ng iba. Kasi sa tingin namin, kulang yun eh. Kulang yung mga ganong causes of action, ma'am, Your Honor. To really, vindicate me. Because I was so wronged na inimbento nila yung mga akusasyon. Binasya ko ng husto, minsan napakabastos ng mga sinasabi nila. Can you imagine po, Your Honor, you are also a mother. Apektado yung ang mga anak ko, yung mga kapatid ko, yung pamilya ko. Buti na lang yung aking ina, ailing mother, bedridden already, and now 92 years old, hindi niya po nalaman kung ano ang nangyari sa akin. Kasi yun po ang gusto ng aking mga kapatid. Huwag na lang natin sasabihin sa mami dahil nga baka lumala yung kanyang kondisyon. You know, the mental anxiety, the anguish, the agony that a mother would feel knowing that her eldest daughter is in jail. So ganun po. Ang hirap sabi ko nga mag-research kayo ng mga foreign jurisprudence. Baka pwedeng meron pa tayong makita. Mas malakas. Kasi syempre sa atin, a crime is only a crime if the law says so. So limited yung choices mo. Dapat mapunta dun sa elements ng isang charge, ng isang krimen. Pero nakukulangan pa po ako. Hindi pwedeng ganyan lang. Subornation of perjury, grave coercion, incriminating one's honor. Meron pa sigurong mas matindi na tunay, nakakatawan, na marirepresent, makikita kung gaano katindi yung ginawa nila sa akin. Yun po so far ang pwede kong sabihin. Thank you, Your Honor.
And it is on this slide, Mr. Chair, that I wish to appeal to the Quadcom that perhaps we can look into the possibility of legislating in order to define and penalize the particular act of fabricating cases, Mr. Chair. Because with the narration of facts shared to us by Senator De Lima, indeed, the agony, the ordeal, the damage is immeasurable, and I conform to her position that the courses of action that she is considering to file are indeed insufficient and not commensurate to what she went through already. So I hope that the Quadcom can consider as well looking into the possibility of defining and penalizing the crime of fabrication of cases. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congresswoman
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congresswoman Luistro. Yes, we will consider that. In fact, we already asked the Secretariat earlier to conduct research on the said subject matter that you have just mentioned.
Mr. Chair.
So, yes, Mr. President.
Hindi kailangan ganun kakapal yung falsification pati forgery. I-apply mo lang yung batas.
We will also consider that, Mr. President.
Yung revised penal code, sir, tanungin mo na yung abogado ninyo. Hindi na kailangan. Why make so many laws na wala namang kakwenta-kwenta?
Okay, thank you, Mr. President.
Lahat yan sa revised penal code.
We will.
Basahin lang ninyo, sir.
Thank you.
Maintindihan
Salamat
ninyo,
po.
I'm sure.
Salamat po. The next interpellator is Congressman Paulo Ortega. You're recognized.
Kala ko, ano? Thank you, Mr. Chair. Babalikan ko lang po yung line of questioning ko kanina with the confirmed na meron naman po talagang binibigay na pang operation during the war on drugs. Nasabi po ng dating Pangulong Duterte na dati nagkakaproblema po kasi nga yung mga nagloloko po na policemen natin rumaraket po sila, former president, kaysa mag-operate po sila within the bounds of the law, rumaraket na lang po sila para magkaroon ng extra na pera.
Sa iba.
Yes, sir.
In-check yung karamihan.
Yes, sir. Na-mention niyo po kanina. Ngayon, Mr. Chair, during my line of questioning kanina, I asked the former president na alam niya po, he was aware kung ano po yung nangyayari sa baba and he was on top of it. Of course, he was the umbrella. And klaro po na siyempre hindi niya po ima-micromanage yung mga nangyayari sa baba. Pero he was fully aware of what was happening and it was getting a little messy, yung war on drugs. Yung reward system po kaya, Mr. Chair, former President, hindi rin kaya parang same din yung effect niya na parang na-amplify po dahil because of the reward system, parang na-amplify po na parang bounty hunting scheme po, parang mas nagkaroon ng lust sila for kasi nga po parang may hinahabol sila parang may hinahabol po silang number, parang may quota para po silang may hinahabol na in terms of the operations, hindi po kaya, babalik po ako na, wala po bang nagawa dun sa policy with regards dun na it was swirling out of control, na baka po mas na-intensify po yung pagkakaroon po ng reward system, mas lalo pong naghahanap, kumbaga, yung mga ating mga kapulisan, Mr. Chair, former President.
I'm supposed to answer the question. Sir, bago ako naging mayor, naging special counsel ako, naging prosecutor ako, naging pataas na hanggang presidente. Sa panahon ko, ibang mayor, pwede siguro yan. But I'm talking only sa pagka-mayor ko. I cannot control what the others were doing or did sa kanilang panahon. Sa akin lang, sir. Hindi mo ako maloko. At alam ng mga polis, hindi nila ako maloko. Kasi babarilin ko talaga sila. Alam nila yan. Fiscal kasi ako I started special counsel. I was doing investigation and trial, even as special counsel. Then as a prosecutor, I rose from 4th, 3rd, 2nd. Inabot ako ng pagka-vice presidente. Ang polis sa Davao, sir, hindi talaga magloko sa akin yan. Alam nila, babarilin ko sila. Totoo yan. At ayaw ko na lang sabihin, tangin mo lang kung sinong pulis na binaril ko. Ngayon nga namatay, pero talagang binaril ko. Sinabi ko kasi, pag niloko ninyo ako, babarilin ko kayo. That's the deal. Kaya, mayor ka, sir, kung hindi takot ang kriminal, hindi takot yung pulis mo, nagkakalat yan, pa isi-isi ka lang kasi pulis. Because dumaan ako pagka prosecutor before I became vice mayor. So hindi mo ako pwedeng malaruan kasi sir, ang totoo, I'm not trying to be funny. It may leave a bad taste in the mouth. Sir, kung hindi ako naging piskal, hindi ako naging abogado, hold upper na ako, matagal na akong namatay.
Mr. Chair, former President, nung pong panahon na, yun nga po, kayo yung Pangulo, parang siyempre nakikita nyo naman po araw-araw yan sa news, nakikita po natin yung effects ng polisiya. Was there any attempt to improve or to correct the policy on the drug war or even the reward system during that time?
Wala, sir. Pagka ayaw kong nangyayari sa Ciudad Iloilo, for example, nakikita ko naman sa briefer yan gabi-gabi, yung crime situation. Nakalagay yan. Western Mindanao, Iloilo, gano'n. Kita, homicide, rape. Nakikita ko yan. So pagka umaga niyan, tinatawagan ko, tawagin mo yung chief of police. Ano nangyayari dito? Or, pag sinabi, sir, si mayor, sa harapan niya, ito, sa harap ko, chief of police mo, na nagreklamo, iniipit mo raw, nakikialam ka. Totoo ba ito? At huwag mong takutin pagkatapos, kasi ang sasabihin ng totoo, yun ang papaniwalaan ko. Baski mayor kaharap. Mayor ng Iloilo, lahat na. Tinatawagan ko sa harap mismo nila. Nagnikramo, sir, paano sir, si mayor sir, nakikialam. Tawagan mo. Yun ang, that was the way I was handling. It might not be acceptable to all, o to many, but that was my style. Talagang tawagin kita, tapos explain to me. Otherwise, lahat, military, ma-police, ma-civilian, ma-mayor, medyo wala akong patawad, sir, especially involving crime. Lalo na droga. Lalo ng droga. Kaya sinasabi ko kay mga mayor, stay away. Kung medyo kulang ang sweldo ninyo, tiisin ninyo habang ako ang presidente. Kasi pag hindi, tayo ang magkalaban. Matanong ninyo rin sa lahat ng mayors ninyo, buong Pilipinas. Pinatawag ko sa nilak ko yung kwarto. Sabi ko, magprangkahan tayo, ha? Alam ko yung style ninyo, yung takot-takutin nyo yung police. Do not give me that. Basta dito sa law and order, laro ko ito. Laro ko ito talaga. Hindi sa pulis mo, laro ko ito. Sumunod kayong lahat, pati ikaw.
Mr. Chair, last question. Mr. Chair, former President, so would you agree na nag-amplify po yung killings because of the reward system or not, Mr. Chair?
Hindi masyado rin kasi ang pulis yung utusan ko, trabaho nila yan eh. Maybe as an incentive. Pero hindi ka pwedeng mag-utos ng civilian. This is my advice, aspiring mayors dito. Huwag kang magkuha ng civilian, sir. Pag in the first
ano pa lang, kurot ng pulis, magkakanta na yan. Huwag kang kumuha ka ng mga pulis na yung tatagal na sa serbisyo. Alam na nila, sir, kung paano. Yung matagal na 20 years na, alam na nila kung anong gusto mong mangyari sa syudad mo, sabihin mo lang sa kanila, ito ang gusto ko in terms sa law and order. Hindi mo na kailangan turuan yan. Huwag kang kumuha ng mga civilian na pipiyak yan. That's my experience. Tagal akong fiscal, matagal rin akong mayor. Na-presidente ako. So, nagkakaintindihan tayong lahat.
And, Mr. Chair, former President, clear naman po, klaro naman po na there was no change in that policy. Talagang it went on until you ended your term as President.
Basta sa crime, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to say, but there might have been excesses.
Yes, sir.
Imposible wala. Yung iba, nakulong, well, I'm sorry, tinutulungan ko for being stupid kung bakit nahuli ka. But otherwise, binibigyan ko ng, then I work na nung sino yung presidente, yung mapresidente si Barber, kausapin ko, pardon mo na yan kasi pulis ko yan. O lower di, kasi trabaho lang yan, President Barber. Hindi naman kanilang yan, kagustuhan. Utos lang ng mayor yan. Alam mo, pagka-utos ng mayor, ipit talaga ang pulis, kawawa. Kawawa talaga ang pulis. Kaya, magbigyan ka ng liwi. Pag napasubo ang pulis, iyo yan. Pag nawala na ang sweldo, iyo yan. Ikaw na magsuporta ng pamilya. Doon, saan? Discretionary fund mo as mayor. Ikaw ang magbigay ng abogado. Then, work it out. Nabilihin mo na lang ang kaso. Sabihin ko, patay naman yung yawa na yan. Sorry. Delete the expression. Please.
Stenographer, please take note.
Sir.
Delete the word
sabihin ko na,
Y-A-W-A.
Patay na naman yan. Hindi naman mabubuhay yan. Wala naman may ibigay yung picture yan na asawa mo. O ito, may 50 mil. Kalimutan mo na.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, former President.
Pero, sir, yung lahat, may I add, baka magkamali tayo dito, mamisconstrue ito. Lahat, baski dito yung presidente ako, merong report, validation, revalidation. Tapos, ibang agency sa gobyerno ang mag-rehabilitate. Hindi ako na for process yan. Ba ako magsabing, sige, tudasin mo.
Okay, thank you, Congressman Ortega.
Hindi ako nagde-deny, sir, na tinutudas ko yung kriminal. I do not deny it.
The next to interpellate is Congressman Raul Manuel. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, ilang tanong po kay Senator Trillanes. Mr. Chair, ang claim po kasi niya ay yung mga pinesend po kanina ay galing sa drug money, yung mga pumasok dun sa accounts ng dating Pangulo. Mr. Chair, gusto nating maklarify kung ano po ang batayan para masabi na drug money yung source talaga ng mga pinesent na mga accounts, Senator Trillanes.
Sinabi niya yan, sir?
Mr. Chair, I'm addressing my question to Senator Trillanes.
Yes, because kung sinabi niyan, I'll file charges against him.
Mr. Chair, may we hear from Senator Trillanes?
Senator Trillanes.
Ang basihan po natin ay yung sinabi ni Arturo Las Cañas na mga drug lords na kapartner at pinoproteksyonan ni Duterte ay sina Michael Yang na kinorroborate ni Jimmy Guban at ni Colonel Asierto, si Charlie Tan na kasama dun sa 6.4 billion pesos shabu shipment, at itong si Sammy Uy na minention ni Arturo Las Cañas. Ang ano po, nung tinignan po namin yung bank accounts, yung records na present ko po kanina, Mr. Chairman, tinignan namin na may mga pumasok na manager's checks na in-encash nila, no? The whole family, no? Ay galing kay Mr. Sammy Uy. Tapos tinignan namin yung 6 months interval. 4 na cheque every 6 months, October and April nila ini-encash. At lumalabas, nagdidibidendo ng roughly 40 to 50 million pesos every 6 months. Nako, I'd be very interested kung anong negosyo ang nag-yield ng ganon. Pero yun po ang lumabas dun sa aming pag-aaral. Tapos based na rin dun sa yan po yung documentary evidence, yan na yung paper trail, yung money trail, at based doon sa testimonya ni Arturo Las Cañas being an insider doon po sa grupo ni Duterte.
Okay, Mr. Chair, follow up po na tanong doon. Naaral din po ba kung posible na meron ding ibang sources yung pumasok na mga pera na yon maliban sa drug money? Kasi gusto natin ma-verify po talaga if ever nga, halimbawa, matrace po na may ibang mga income sources, legitimate man or illegitimate o kung ano man, maliban sa drug money. Naaral din po ba yung ganong possibility?
Noong una, yun po ang kinoconsider namin, no? Kaso nga, based dun sa testimonya ni Arturo Las Cañas na sinubmit sa ICC, itong si Sammy Uy at si Michael Yang, sila po yung kumaga mag-partner, ano? Siya yung parang nagpa-front. Tapos tinignan namin yung mga negosyo nito ni Sammy Uy. Hindi siya pwedeng mag-yield ng ganong dividendo na 40 to 50 million every 6 months na dinidistribute. Yung pa lang yung nakita natin doon sa paper trail. Tapos doon sa sinabi niya na ilang instances doon mismo sa isang shabu laboratory, doon sa involvement nito ni Sammy Uy, lumiwanag po sa amin na drug-related yung mga pumasok na pera dito kay Mr. Duterte. Kaya nga, pinoproteksyonan niya ng todo. Nakita nyo, di ba? Ayaw pumirma ng waiver kahit ito na, sasabihin niya, babawiin niya because ando doon lahat ng sikreto. And sabi ko nga, na-validate na po ito ng Anti-Money Laundering Council through the Ombudsman na nakakuha rin ng same set of documents. Then, ultimately, in an impeachment court and the criminal court, lalabas po yan. No? Lalabas po yung mga ganyan kasi may mga exemption sa bank secrecy law yung itong criminal investigations sa korte. Yun po, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I respond.
Mr. Chair, I have other questions.
Taking eternity
Gusto ko munang i-address dire-diretso kay
1 minute suspension.
Mr.
President.
You're suspended.
Suspended.
Suspended tayo, ha?
Mr. President, suspended po. Suspended po tayo for the meantime. Sige.
In favor sa tignan ninyo yung bangko ko. All over the Philippines. Bank check.
Suspended po tayo.
Kaya nga yan.
Hearing is resumed.
Mr. Chair, if the committee would like to hear first from the former president, I would indulge in that.
Ano, bawal yan to reveal a bank account, even piso lang yan, or 1 billion. Ano mo ba yan? You make it public here. Hindi mo ba alam that I could charge you for that alone? That single statement, I can send you to prison. I guarantee you. Hindi mo ba alam yan?
Mr. Chair, if our resource person is done, hindi po tayo nathi-threaten doon. And in fact, Mr. Chair,
Produce
pinakinggan
the
na po natin.
document.
Mr. Chair, I have the floor.
Suspension again.
Because I will be charging you. Ikaw pa? Ano ka man? Sino bang niluloko mo dito? You go home and plant whatever you want to plant. Ayaw kong sabihin. Torpedo, sir.
Hearing is resumed. Gaya po ng
Mr. Chair,
nasabi ko kanina.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. President, sandali
Mr.
lang
Chair,
po.
ako po muna.
Congressman Abante, sandali lang po.
I can sense that...
Let the chairman have the floor first.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Ano, nakalimutan ko tuloy. I was about to say, Your Honors, na malalim na nga yung gabi at I think
Yes.
pagod na rin ang ating resource person.
Palalimin pa natin, sir, para mas malalim ang baon ko itong...
Siguro,
Sir, manifest muna ako maikli before I
Tapos
proceed.
na nga pagtatanong ni Congressman Manuel, itutuloy natin itong ating hearing sa susunod na scheduled hearing natin, which is on November 21st. So,
Malayo masyado yun, sir. Bukas siguro.
Mr. Chair.
I cannot wait. I really cannot wait. Ay, kumakatin na yung paa ko pati kamay ko. I cannot wait.
Mr. President, gusto po namin kayo makapagpahinga.
Ayaw ko rin, sir. Total, sabay naman tayo. Kung babagsak ka dyan, babagsak rin ako.
Medyo
Gusto
matagal pa
ko-
po tayo bumagsak dito, Mr. President.
At
So,
saka,
anyway,
maaga pa, sir.
ito ang ano natin, siguro, unless there is a motion from any of my colleagues here and my co-chairs,
Mr.
if
Chair.
You want to continue.
I object.
Can I speak?
Okay, Congressman Abante, you're recognized.
Ako po yung nakikiusap sa ating presidente.
Ayos, sir. Pag ikaw ang nakikiusap, surrender. Pag nire-respeto ko yung tao, sir. Wala.
Mapahinga na po kayo, please.
Ako, sir, pag sinabi mo...
Kasi sense ko po, nagmumura na kayo, kaya
I
kailangan magpahinga na kayo.
respect you. I will follow what you say.
Salamat po.
Pag
Thank you very
wala
much.
akong respeto sa iyo, sampalin kita, gago ka.
Ano po, pakisabi
Okay.
niyo po na i-delete. Kayo na lang magsabing i-delete.
Sige po,
I-delete na lang ninyo lahat ng sinabi ko.
maliwanag po
Para
na...
wala nang masabi ang tao. Lahat na total, baka sabihin ninyo, palusot lang. Let the investigators find out. Or, I will give you a blanket authority, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I move to suspend this hearing to the...
Open my
See,
bank account.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Let us wrap up first. By,
Yeah, Mr. Chair, to wrap up lang, Mr.
Sige,
Chair.
pagkatapos po nito ay tayo po'y mag-suspend. So, yes, please
Yes, Mr. Chair,
make
actually-
it very short.
Yes, actually, Mr. Chair, marami pa akong mga tanong. Tapos, ang sabi nga rin naman po kanina, pwedeng hanggang 2 a.m., 5 a.m. tayo.
Bakit ba yung kamay mo
Actually, Mr.
nagsasayaw?
Chair, ako, kaya din naman natin yan. Lalo na nung mga budget hearing, araw-araw ganun yung mode natin. Kaso lang, Mr. Chair, based sa sitwasyon po ng ating resource person, kahit na actually ay bibigyan ko rin naman siya ng panahon para makapagsalita. Gusto ko lang na ma-establish muna yung mga punto natin through our questions sa ibang mga resource person. Kasi po, hindi lang naman po ang dating Pangulo ang ating resource person. Pero parang siya po
nagsasayaw yung
kasi
kamay
yung
mo.
nagmamadali, Mr. Chair. At tingin po natin hindi na conducive to the point na tinithreaten po tayo, pananampal, pagmumura. Kaya tingin natin, Mr. Chair, kung ganito ang magiging conduct ng resource person natin, mainam nga, Mr. Chair, din muna talaga. At hindi po natin tinatanggap yung bluff niya na kaya niya magstay hanggang umaga. So, I'm actually willing, Mr. Chair, if the committee would want, I can pause with my questions and I'll let the committee decide, Mr. Chair.
We continue. Huwag ka namang madali. Nandito ka na lang.
Meron na pong
Mr.
na-wrap
Chairman,
up na po at meron na pong
meron tayong pending motion. So,
pending motion na ito pong hearing na ito, itong pandinig na ito ay temporarily ay isususpindi natin, no? At ipagpapatuloy natin to sa November 21st.
Motion, sir.
Congressman Dan Fernandez.
yes, sir. I
Mr.
move
President.
to suspend this hearing.
Okay, there is a motion to suspend this hearing and duly seconded, and hearing no objection, the motion is approved. Maraming salamat po sa ating resource person. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. At hopefully ay magkita-kita po tayo ulit